Good evening. Welcome to the number one faith-based motivational and inspirational broadcast platform in the country, GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. As you can tell, we are honored, we're privileged, and we're blessed once again that we always enjoy having individuals stop by and kind of hang out with us for a few, kind of let us know what they're doing. Today is no different. We are grateful to have this young man join us here on GMAP Broadcast Network. And of course, going to be able to introduce him to many of you around the world who in fact, may not know what he's doing yet. But before this conversation closes, you will. Want to say what's up, Calvin? How you doing, man?
Oh, it's so great to be with you, Pastor Kevin.
It is always an honor, and we are just as honored to have you here. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation. Number one, to be here with us today. Number two, to be a part of our broadcast network family. And number three, of course, to be incorporating your podcast into our weekly broadcast platform. Praise God for that as well. I want to send a
Praise
shout
God.
out to you and thank God for you and your lovely wife. And thank you guys for just being so honorable and supportive to what we're doing. Introduce yourself, man, if you don't mind. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from.
My name is Calvin Mitchell. I currently reside in North Carolina, have been here with my wife for the last 10 years, but I was born and raised in Los Angeles, 42 years. I left there around 2003 and have been on the East Coast ever since.
Wow. Well, I am grateful for your presence and thank you again. I know that you have been blessed, first and foremost, to have these publications that are available to people around the world. And of course, want you to break those things down. I do have right now available for those that don't know, of course. Again, if you don't know now, you know that Calvin is a part of the GMAP Broadcast Network family. And of course, he is one of our featured authors. Let me go ahead and allow a couple of the publications to be placed on our screen. And as you can tell, immunity to the lake of fire, as well as letters from God. If you don't mind sharing, man, break those things down, man. Let us know how it all started for you to release these publications to people around the world.
Well, I hadn't, before Immunity to the Lake of Fire, I hadn't been writing for a while, been mainly just involved in, with my wife in church and in teaching and in ministry. And I felt a need, a move of the Lord to begin to focus on the gospel and why the gospel is important, and so necessary. And we're always talking about being saved, but not everyone understands what we're being saved from.
Mm,
And so the idea for the book, Immunity to the Lake of Fire, a no nonsense guide, was born.
immunity to the lake of fire. That's I love the cover too, by the way. And thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
sharing that with us. And of course, also letters from God. Why don't you break that down for us if you don't mind?
Well, the tradition of writing letters from God goes back a number of years ago. Recently, probably maybe about 10, 20 years ago, there was a book by a lady named Frances called Come Away, My Beloved. And more recently, a book that's pretty popular now that also has a podcast. I believe it's called Jesus Calling.
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt it might be a good idea to put my hand into that pool from years of studying the scriptures and of teaching the word and teaching the gospel, and that maybe I could bring some fresh light on the word and on the gospel by putting words in God's mouth,
Yeah.
something I don't take lightly.
Right. Wow. And man, that's a very interesting concept. And of course, for those that don't know, again, Calvin is one of our featured authors on the GMAP Broadcast Network. And You can always stop by GMAP1.com. Click on the tab that simply says Featured Authors Bookstore, and you will see a copy of the current publication, the covers that I'm currently showing you on our television split screen. You can click on either one and or both of those publications. It'll take you to the necessary location to find out more information about the man, the author, as well as the publications released. Immunity to the Lake of Fire, as well as Letters from God. They are both placed on our broadcast network platform. And we want to encourage you all to make sure you show your love, care, concern, and support. Now, of course, I know that many people are going to want to show their support to you, Calvin, by purchasing one or both of these particular publications. What would be the process for them to do so, if you don't mind sharing that? How can they get and or receive? Because I have mine. I just want you all to know I have
Yes,
mine,
absolutely.
and I'm grateful. You know what? And I really, really love the gift bags, man. Those bags are nice.
Glad, glad,
But I have mine.
glad to know.
I want them to be able to have theirs. How is it that they can receive a copy of one and or both of your current publications?
Well, I do have a website, CLM Journal, which is my blog site, but I also advertise the books there. So if you just go to clmjournal.com, both books will appear on the homepage. And if you just simply press the button on either book that says buy this book, it'll lead you to a page that explains the contents of the book, as well as links to the Kindle, as well as the paperback version of the book, as well as the podcast on whatever platform you listen to podcasts to.
Wow. Well, and of course, first things first, we don't want them to ever forget about little old GMAP Broadcast Network down here in the lower left-hand corner of everything. Again, if you stop by our platform, visit our Featured Authors Bookstore, you'll see these publications that I'm showing you currently on the screen. And of course, it will take you to that very location to see exactly what it was that Calvin just explained to you. And of course, speaking of podcast, and we can't let that get away. Of course, new program alert. New program alert steps in. The Immunity Podcast is also here to be aired. It's not starting tomorrow, but starting next Saturday. We want you to tune in at 11 a.m. Central, and of course, 12 noon Eastern on the GMAP Broadcast Network, the Immunity Podcast. If you don't mind, you know what, Calvin, share a little bit about what this particular podcast launch is going to be all about.
Well, I believe that nowadays people like to hear the written word in an audible format. It's becoming increasingly popular. But also, I started out being a podcaster, and my content was the post on my blog. If you go to the bottom of my homepage, you'll see my blog posts, little small articles about various topics. And I like the podcast format because I like listening to someone share content with me with some background music. So it doesn't sound like something you would find on Audible. It's more like something you would find on Apple Podcast, what used to be called iTunes or Spotify, in which it's more of a podcast format. So you take any given chapter or any episode from the podcast, it'll read a chapter of the book, but it'll be broken up into 5-minute segments. So, and there's background music and there's time to kind of like digest what you're listening to. So I think it's a much more presentable format than simply reading a book chapter after chapter.
Yeah, and of course, again, not only are we grateful to God for incorporating and allowing the invitation to be accepted for Calvin to be a part of our broadcast network family as a featured author.
Very excited.
But we are also grateful for his presence to bring the Immunity Podcast to our broadcast network global media ministry platform. Again, next Saturday, you'll be able to tune in every Saturday at 11 a.m. Central, 12 noon Eastern GMAP1.com. It is on the schedule for those that may forget. You can just stop by GMAP1.com, click on the schedule, and you'll see when the Immunity Podcast takes place, scheduled to do its premiere launch on the first weekend of June. And that's next week. We want you guys to be sure to tune in, show your love, care, concern, and support for that. Of course, we're going to be speaking with Calvin over and over again. We're going to be inviting him back consistently to get, more into detail about what's taking place. Of course, this brief conversation is also going to be placed on our social platforms, our YouTube channel, Facebook. It's going to get aired on our weekly broadcast via Comcast. We're just excited, for what God is doing through this divine connection and this author and this podcaster, and the list goes on. And of course, before we even move on to the next phase of today, I want you, Calvin, if you don't mind, share with it how people can reach out again and specifically connect with you. How can you be connected with? What's the process, whether it be website, email, phone number, management? How can people connect with you?
Well, all of my pages on the internet are available from clmjournal.com. So if you go to clmjournal.com and click on any link, at the very top of the next page, you're going to see all my social links, Pinterest, Facebook, MeWe, LinkedIn, Black Planet, Pinterest, as I said before. So it's very easy to reach me. Plus, there's a page on there that says all my links. So anything that I didn't mention in terms of my internet presence can be reached there as well.
GMAP. I just want you to put that on your link. All right. And man,
Absolutely.
You know what, man? You mentioned, Black Planet. Man, I haven't heard. Man.
Still up and running. They even have a app for mobile phones now.
Really? You know what?
Yes,
man, I used to do Black Planet a long time. I'm shocked just to hear that roll off of your tongue, man. That's exciting. But what?
A lot of people are on there.
And I know, and that's something. I still have my my status with them. I'm going to be reaching out because, there's a couple of things, Calvin, that's happening here that's requiring us to rewind the tape and start digging deep into some things that that are necessary. I want you to make sure that you do one thing for me.
Anything.
I want you to do your research and be a part of Alignable. Alignable is awesome, man. People don't know about it. It's just like #1 music and stuff. But it's on our homepage. And if you look at our social media links, the first one you see that'll come up on the right-hand side of our television screen is our social media platform. There's a little circle there. That little circle will link you to Alignable. Alignable is something that you must be a part of. It's going to be huge as the days. Man, it is huge. I wanted to share that with you, and I don't mind sharing it with others. It's a great platform to be connected to help present your information, your events, and things of that nature out to people around the world. I didn't really grab a hold of it for a long time. And I eventually said, you know what, I'm going to look into this. And as I looked deeper and deeper, man, my eyes opened wider and wider. So I am so grateful for it. I'm so grateful for you. This is just really the first of many. There will be a part 2 to this conversation as we talk more in detail about what Calvin is doing. We appreciate the fact that we can present to you all around the world immunity to the lake of fire, letters from God, and of course, we will not forget about the premiere launch here on GMAP Broadcast Network of the Immunity Podcast. just so excited about what God is doing
Thank you so
here.
much, Pastor Kevin.
And we're grateful for you, man. Believe me when I tell you, man, I don't take it lightly that you accepted the invitation to be a part of our family. So if there's anything, I want to say this to you publicly and personally. If there's anything we can do to continue to assist you in any way, shape, form, or fashion, don't you hesitate to pick up that phone, give us a call, send us a text, give us an email, whatever instant message, however you do it, because the answer will always be yes, and you will never have to ask us twice.
From
Want
the
you to know
time
that.
I first called you, we really clicked together, and I'm excited about checking out what you have planned for Aligned and some of the other social portals. And I'm definitely excited about continuing our work together for the expansion of the kingdom of God and the gospel.
Amen. And again, I thank you, man. Send my love out to your lovely
Mm,
wife and your family.
I
Tell
certainly
those
will.
kids to keep doing what they're doing, because if you stay focused,
Mm,
we always hear things about single moms and children and things of that magnitude. But when dad is present and you're doing all you can to show your love and support for your children, your wife and your family, man, that speaks volume, because my wife and I have been doing it for a long time, and they didn't think we would be married 15 minutes. And unfortunately,
God is good. God is good.
since we couldn't get divorced that fast, they gave us 15 days. And to God be the glory, we are currently celebrating 15 years.
He's so good.
And
He's so good.
ooh, and you know
Praise
what?
God.
We are still on our honeymoon. So
Hallelujah.
people can think, do, feel, and say whatever they choose. If it's not a part of God's plan, it will not come to pass. We thank God for you, man. We look forward to working with you. I'll be reaching out to you a little bit later on, man, because I have some other things in store. I know that it's going to be a fabulous connection and some of the things that we have planned. But I thank God that you took time out to be here with us today and accept the invitation that was presented to you. And of course, I want you to have a fabulous week,
Our prayers are
outstanding
with you,
weekend.
Pastor Kevin, and your wife.
Thank you so much, man. And we really appreciate it, because the prayers of the righteous man availeth much,
Amen.
and
Hallelujah.
I'll be reaching out to you, man. Until next time, I want you to continue to be blessed and be a blessing. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll be in touch with you soon and very soon. Okay?
Thank you, Pastor. God bless you and your wife.
God bless you as well.